Pujama flip.
Pujama flip.
So this is an update video about the gel seat inserts that we put on our two NC750Xs. The update and how I found the actual inserts you'll find at the end of the video. If you've seen the video before, you might want to scroll through straight there. Otherwise, feel free to watch the whole video. So today's video is going to be about saddles. This is my partner's NC750X 2021 model manual, and this is my 2019 model DCT. Both have got the standard saddles on them at the moment. After about 2 hours riding, in both cases you get a bit of a numb bum, and so I've been looking into what to do about this. The 2019 model, you could use the Shad comfort seat on. Shad don't actually make the seat anymore, so you have to try and find it second hand, and to be quite honest, they are like hen's teeth. I looked around about doing a adaptation to the seat myself, where you put in a gel insert pad on both bikes. You can see, if you look at the seat, both of them are the same, that basically you've got a bit of sort of flex there. There's enough room to get extra stuff in there. There's a slight question mark on here in that you've got a little bit of a tailored line there as well, which means that you could muck things up not putting the saddle back together properly. So for mine, I wasn't too worried about doing it. For the 21 model, I was a little bit more nervous, but I found a company called Viking Seats in near Brands Hatch, and they will put in a gel insert into each seat, and they charge 140 quid for it, which is a fair bit of money, but the Shad seats are going for around the 200 mark at least, and doing it myself would take me a lot longer than that, and potentially risk ruining the seat full stop. So they're going to go and have that done, and for the moment I need to take the seats off for them to go away to have the work done. Viking Seats would do it so you can actually turn up on your bike if you like, take the seat off, wait around for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and they will make the change for you, and then you can put your seat back on the bike and ride it away. In my case, because I'm doing the two, I'm going to take them both off and get them done. Hopefully I will be able to get them to do a couple of pictures as they take them apart, put the gel insert in, put them back together to show what they've done as well. Lastly, I used to have a Shad seat on my last bike, so I had a 2016 model, almost identical to this one, and I sold it with the bike, which was bloody stupid, but as a result I've also got a spare seat. It is missing, you have to change over the bolts and the bungs that put the right height on it, so it's missing those. But what I should be able to do is hopefully do some sort of demonstration at the end of this as to exactly how much difference the seat has actually, or the gel insert has actually made to the bike. So there's the two seats off. You can see on the right hand side the 21 model, on the left hand side the 19 model. There's a very slight difference to the shape around the front. I don't know whether you'll be able to even tell that from this. I know I've tried putting the NC 2019 seat on the 21 and it doesn't work. If you look, I think basically the neck is slightly narrower on the 2019 bike, but they're both fixed with 10mm bolts at the bottom, 2 bolts, and then they lift straight off. It's super easy to take them off. The next thing is off to the upholsterers.
So while the seats were at Viking Motorcycle Seats, you can see on these pictures they removed the covers and then they marked out where they were going to put the gel pad. I gather the gel pad may actually be something that's normally used in a riding saddle rather than a motorcycle saddle. You can see them fitting the gel pad here. The circle in the center is to allow the air to escape. Your buttocks don't actually sit on that bit, so you don't really need it. It's to give flexibility and allow it to escape. And as you can see, they fit the gel pad to both saddles. Then once they've done that, they've lined it with an 8mm foam so that it is less obvious where they have put the gel pad in. And once the foam has been put on, they then cover the seat with clear plastic to make it waterproof prior to putting the cover on. And then you can see they restaple the cover back on, giving you the final finish. Upon getting the seats back, I thought it was a good idea to weigh them before I put them back on the bike to see what a difference it had made. When you pick up the seat, it is very noticeable that it's heavier. And the results are basically 1.3 kilograms for the 2019 bike standard seat, 1.95 kilograms with the gel insert put in, etc. So an additional 0.65 of a kilogram onto your bike weight. Not a huge amount, but it is very noticeable when you pick up the seats.
So seats are back from upholsterers. I have fitted it to the 2021 bike. You can see that the seat is slightly more rounded around here now. It's also more bulbous here, where the additional padding has gone in. Also just around here, because there's a bit more depth to the seat here, you can see it's caused a very slight ridge of the back seat, and you have to give it a bit of, not a major push, but you have to be a bit more aggressive to get it to close down there. But it fits very well. It looks nice. I'm quite pleased with how it looks. And yeah, it looks good. Then on the 2017 seats, here we go. This is a direct comparison. So the one on the left is the with the one with the gel insert. The one on the right is an original one. You can quite clearly if you look at the top edge, you can see the difference where the extra padding is. It's quite clear there, and again round the back you can see extra sort of depth to the back corner as well, back edge as well. To feel, realistically speaking, if I sort of press on that one and then press on that one, the new seat with the gel in it does feel a little firmer. I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. So now I'm going to fit it to the 2019 bike and see how it looks. So this is the seat fitted to the 2019 bike. Again, fits very, very nicely. This one a little bit better, if anything. You don't have that ridge potentially here. It just fits slightly nicer there. It looks good. It all fits in very nicely. No problems with it at all. To sit on, that's an interesting one. You can feel the change. It feels more solid, but not in a bad way. I'm going to have to wait and reserve judgment till I go out and ride the bike, but it definitely feels very different to sit on. And it also feels slightly wider, which means that I do feel it's made a slight difference to how well I can put my feet on the ground. Not a huge amount, but very, very slight. So that will be interesting to see how that goes on as well. I shall report back shortly with how it feels to ride. So I've been for my first ride on the 2019 bike to see what I thought of the saddle. Things I noticed were my feet were slightly wider apart. The main thing is that when you sit on the saddle, there's a thing with the NCs where you kind of slip a bit forward. That didn't happen anymore, and I felt kind of almost like more held in on the saddle is the best description. It felt slightly firmer than the original, if anything. But kind of held in and cosseted slightly. I only rode 40 minutes out, 40 minutes back, something like that. So not enough time to have caused like a numb bum on the original saddle. So I can't really comment yet on how good it is at dealing with the saddle, dealing with comfort long term. But definitely it felt very different. I would say so far I'm happy. I have a trip to Spain planned for September, which is the first true test it's going to have because I'll be riding all day. But until that happens, I can't really say for definite whether it's been a huge success or a waste of money. What I will say is the guys at Viking Motorcycle Seats were really friendly, really nice, and did a really good job of a conversion which is possibly not ideal. You're not taking all the foam out and putting new foam in, etc. You're just trying to make the best of what's already there. But they did a really good job, really nice guys to deal with, very professional job. I think it's going to be more comfortable. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'd certainly recommend if you're going to have anything customized done to your saddle, they're a good place to go to. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll put a link in the description, etc. to Viking Motorcycle Seats, and I will give an update when I've really done some serious riding on the bike with it on. So an update for you on the gel inserts on these NC750X seats. I've had them on now for a good few months. This is basically what I've come to the conclusion about it. So for the 2020 NC750X, you can see that the gel seat is still on there. It's not perfect. Beforehand, riding for a couple of hours would basically cause pain. Nowadays, you can ride for a day, and then it's fine. Next day, 2 or 3 hours riding, you start to get a sore bum. So not too bad really. A lot better than the original seat, not perfect. On the 750X 2019, you can see here this has now got a shad comfort seat on it. To be honest, I didn't find the upgrade terribly comfortable. It lasted okay for about 2.5 hours, but certainly wasn't up to a day's use. A little bit better than the standard seat, but not a huge amount. I think that it would have done better to have had a full re-padding, and because the shad seat is available, if only second hand, I found this one on eBay and replaced it with that. For the 2021 bike, whether or not we moved to having that upgraded, we haven't decided yet, but certainly I wouldn't say it was a failure, but I wouldn't say it was an outstanding success either. My advice on this would probably be, if you are going to get gel inserts put in, probably look at having the foam at least partially replaced to make the seat a little bit softer as well. The gel inserts do kind of relieve the pressure point slightly on your bum, but if you put them directly over the top of the current padding, it ends up being quite a firm setup in total, and you could probably do with having a little bit more cushioning. Certainly if you sit on the shad seat, it's significantly more cushioned than the original seat or the gel pad seat. Thanks for watching.